Good afternoon, everyone. Can we give another round of applause to the Robert Eagle Staff Middle School Jazz Band? I would say that I wish I sounded that good in middle school, but I've never sounded anywhere near that good. They sound amazing, and the jazz program in Seattle Public Schools is really legendary, and you can understand why. Welcome, everyone, to our first annual lunch and our 16th annual spring event. If you came at breakfast, we're really sorry. We moved it this year to a luncheon out of respect for all those people who have to drop their kids off at school in the morning, which makes breakfast a challenge. We're really glad you could all be here with us this afternoon. I'm now officially a year and a half into my role as president and CEO of the Alliance for Education. That's my family probably starting that. I like to say I'm too long to claim that I'm just new, so I don't get away with anything anymore, but I'm here long enough to be dangerous. The last 18 months have been very intense and also very rewarding, and I'd like to start the program today with some gratitude to those who have made today's lunch possible and to those who are supporting public education in our great city. So I'll start by thanking our presenting sponsors, Boeing and Kaiser. Thank you so much to both Boeing and Kaiser Permanente for their support. I'd also like to thank our gold sponsor, First Choice Health, and our silver sponsors, Amazon, Adobe, K&L Gates, Metzler, and Microsoft. Let's give them a round of applause. We're so grateful for that support. We have an incredible list also of bronze sponsors, community sponsors, and table captains, and those are up on the screen and also in your program. Thanks to everyone who got involved with this event. Is there a hiss on this microphone? Can you hear that? Okay. Sorry, I'm hearing a hiss up here. I also want to recognize our elected officials and their representatives who joined us today. Very shortly, you'll get to hear from Mayor Jenny Durkin. Mayor Durkin, thanks so much for being with us. I'd also like to welcome the Honorable Bobby Bridge, Governor Chris Gregoire, and Representative Eric Pettigrew. Thank you. Yes, please. Thank you to Senators Maria Cantwell and Patty Murray and Representative Adam Smith for sending their teams out here today. And I have to give a very special shout out to our extremely hardworking school board members. I'm delighted to have so many here with us today. Please join me in recognizing Directors Rick Burke, Zach DeWolf, Jill Geary, and Eden Mack. We're so glad to have you in the room. I'm going to make a few people stand up. I don't know if you know, this is Teacher Appreciation Week, which meant a lot of cookie baking at my house. I'd like to ask a whole bunch of folks to stand up. If I could have the Alliance Board of Directors stand up and the Alliance staff. I would not be standing up here or standing at all without them. Thank you. And I'd also like our district staff, our teachers, and our principals here today, and our friends over at the city's Department of Education and Early Learning, if all of those folks could also stand up and get a round of applause. We have some amazing leaders both at the city and at the district and in our schools across the city making a huge difference to our students. Finally, I have to take a moment to thank Dr. Larry Nyland, our superintendent. During his tenure leading Seattle Public Schools, Dr. Nyland has brought vision, teamwork, and stability to our district, and I have personally been so grateful for his partnership in my first several months in this role. Larry, thank you for your dedication to creating excellence in Seattle Public Schools and also for your unwavering commitment to closing opportunity gaps. We'll certainly be missing you, and let's please give Dr. Nyland a warm round of applause. The Alliance for Education was founded 23 years ago to support the success of Seattle Public Schools. We are particularly focused on supporting equity for Seattle students and on closing the opportunity gaps that exist across the district. The Alliance acts as a convener and a connector. We work closely with the school district to understand what students in Seattle need to succeed, and then we forge public and private partnerships with the broader community to bring financial resources and effective strategies to Seattle Public Schools. The best recent example of this is the development of the Seattle Teacher Residency Program, which you may hear referred to as STR throughout the program today. There is a clear teacher shortage and teacher retention program across the country in urban districts. And here in Seattle, our teachers, although they're excellent, are nowhere near as diverse as the students that they serve. And we know that the research is very clear that teacher diversity has a direct impact on positive student outcomes. So in thinking about that problem, the Alliance worked in partnership with our friends at the University of Washington, at Seattle Public Schools, and at the Seattle Education Association to design, fund, and create an innovative program. The Seattle Teacher Residency recruits, trains, and retains a diverse group of excellent teachers to serve in the most poverty-impacted schools in Seattle. And they commit to serving in those schools for a full 5 years, and many serve, we hope, beyond. Today, you'll be the very first to see our new video about the work of the residency, and you'll also hear from the amazing Germán Moreno, who is a recent graduate of the program, and this year is in his first year as a 4th grade teacher at Lowell Elementary School. And I feel very fortunate to have him there with our kids at Lowell and also up here on the stage today. There is so much to be proud of at Seattle Public Schools. We have a wonderful district in our city. We have the 3rd best year-over-year growth in student performance in the country as compared to 200 other urban districts. Yes, please. We outperform the rest of the state by 10% in 8th grade language arts and by 15% in 8th grade math. And the gap in graduation rates between white students and African American students went from a 23% gap in 2014 to a 14% gap in 2017. So we're making progress. We have amazing teachers and principals and district staff, and our students are superstars. I'm a little biased about my own 2 children. They are superstars, but the larger group is as well. At the same time, there is much more progress to be made. 1 in 4 African American students in Seattle Public Schools don't graduate from high school. White students in 7th grade are performing 40 percentage points higher than students of color in both English and in math. The opportunity gaps that exist in our district have been pervasive and persistent for a long time. These challenges are certainly unacceptable, but they don't make us special or particularly different. Seattle Public Schools outshines other districts across the country in many ways, and the challenges we do face are typical. Most urban districts wrestle with graduation rates, teacher turnover, and achievement and opportunity gaps. But we all know that Seattle is not an ordinary city. We are an extraordinary city. Is that correct? Is that correct? We may have ordinary problems in our district, like many other urban districts, but we are a city rich in resources, innovation, talent, and people who care deeply. People who clearly see the value and necessity of a strong public education system. People like all of you. In a city like ours, I'm confident that if we work together, we can ensure all our students have the opportunities and support they need to reach their full potential. It's the Alliance's role to help convene the community around that shared commitment to public education, to bring resources and innovative programs to the table, and to support the community in leaning in to support the district. Today is all about rallying our team, all of you, in that support. We also are passionate, as educators should be, about learning, and particularly learning from other successes. I'm excited to hear from Marilyn Strickland today about her work leading a successful and collaborative effort to increase student outcomes as the 2-term mayor of Tacoma. Thank you, Marilyn, so much for joining us today. I was thinking about today's program, and I was also struck by the fact that all of today's speakers are fairly new to their current roles and are all remarkable innovators who are going to move mountains in the work ahead. So now, it's my pleasure to welcome to the stage an MVP on the team moving mountains for Seattle students. Please join me in welcoming our mayor, Jenny Durkin.